Tropical Storm Peter is continuing to move through the Atlantic near the Leeward Islands at this time. There it is right here on the center of circulation. Here it is. So this is the 5-day cone. It's still a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. Its current location is still 19.8 is now 19.8 degrees north, 62.8 degrees west, moving west-northwest a little slower now at 12 miles per hour. This is the public advisory. Not much change has gone on. The pressure's risen up to 1,008 millibars, so that's something to maybe keep an eye on a little bit, but not really. The tracks models are a little more split now than they were, but they still agree on this turn occurring. The question now is, when is it going to turn? Some models have it turning a little earlier, some a little later. So so it could go either way at this point. But the most agreeable models right here, like the most likely path, is with these models right here. So that's probably going to happen. Intensity, its odds are like Peter's going to weaken after this. It pretty much has reached its peak at this point. It's going to start weakening after this. It could strengthen a little bit up to maybe 60 miles per hour, but that's pretty unlikely. So after that, it's going to just start weakening. So yeah, down to a tropical depression. Some models have it going back up to a tropical storm, but the NHC cone right now does. Oops, wrong thing. NHC cone right here does not have it doing it at this time, so we'll be keeping an eye out on that. If you look on the satellite imagery, this is what happened right here. So some part of it developed. There was some development near the core, and then it just shifted over to the east. So we're back where we were last night. So that's pretty much it for Tropical Storm Peter. So what I'm going to do now is pull up all the information on Tropical Storm Rose, because we do have some new information at this time. So just give it a second. Alright, so this is the satellite imagery of Tropical Storm Rose. Here's the latest cone. It's now a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. It jumped from 40 to 50 miles per hour. It's now 18.9 degrees north, 35.4 degrees west, moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. So yeah, it has jumped a little bit. So there you go. We're gonna first go to the track models. Models are still in pretty much some sort of an agreement of when it's going to turn. The question essentially is, what angle is it going to turn to when it goes to that northeastern part of as the NHC cone. It's also this is for Peter. Let's just hold on. There we go. And there, that's the public advisor. We'll just go ahead and cover this. Tropical storm force winds now extend 90 miles from the center. The pressure has dropped to 1,004 millibars, so that's something kind of interesting that happened. So yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on this. This is the latest track. So when that turn begins, it's basically like the models are split after 3 days of where this is going to go, but at that point, it really won't affect land, and it's going to become post-tropical by that time. So yeah, now we're back to the intensity right here. So yeah, all these models have it now. Some of them have it strengthening up to a 60-mile-per-hour storm. Others have it starting to taper off and start weakening, leveling off, weakening. So yeah, I think if it could, like I said, it's probably reached peak strength. It could go up to 60 miles per hour, but that would be pushing it. So I think 50 miles per hour right now is good, but if it does go up to 60, I won't be surprised. But judging on the satellite imagery right here, I don't think that's going to happen unless this convection just starts bursting again. So yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But back to the intensity. After that, it's going to start weakening to a depression. And then according to the NHC, it's going to become post-tropical by Saturday. So those are your key takeaways. First key takeaway, its models right here, like I just said, are basically some of it having strengthening, but after that, after 24 hours, it's going to start weakening, gradually weakening to a depression, according to these models as well as the National Hurricane Center. So there's that. Second key takeaway. Oh, that. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, sorry, we were experiencing some technical difficulties, so we're back on with the tracks. After 3 days, the models are kind of split on where it's going to go, how far, like, and what angle. If it's just going to go straight east or just more to the northeast. So after 3 days, take all these models with a grain of salt, but it's not going to really affect anyone at land. So yeah, but still keep it close. Still keep an eye on it. And the final takeaway is that the satellite imagery right here shows like the cloud tops are, which were at the previously bursting to minus 80s, are now barely at minus 60s anymore. So that's something interesting to look at, even though they now have it as a 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. But yeah, yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on both Peter and Rose. So be sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as turn on notifications for more updates.